What is it? How to actually make people like you.
I spent my child.
How to actually, do you guys want to figure out how to be charisma gods? This is how to be charismatic. Being charismatic is like a cheat code to life. Everyone seems to be drawn to you, and everyone likes you somehow. And my charismatic I feel like I got some decent charisma
I spent my
points.
childhood.
But yeah, how to actually make people like you.
I spent my childhood and adolescence as an introverted person. I never had
Why is
friends
there
and
needles in
couldn't
their
form friendships or acquaintances in real life until one day I became interested
they have
in
a
the
needle?
concept of social skills. I started reading books like How to Win
Teach me
Friends
the
and
W-Riz
Influence
size
People
mine.
and How to Talk to Anyone, and I was watching videos about
Okay, that's really sad. You're reading the books.
social skills. But do you know what happened? Nothing. None of that helped me, and I never knew why, until the day I started studying psychology and specialized in human behaviors. And there I realized that our social skills and all those pieces of advice we hear are just nonsense that doesn't help at all. I realized
You're
that the
personable.
solution
What's
to my
personable
problem
mean?
wasn't making eye contact or constantly repeating the name of the person I'm talking to. All these are superficial things that don't have much value. The problem was in my personality and the way I behaved, and I found out that having charisma and being liked by people is a very easy thing. So
It's
I promise
easy.
you that if you watch this video to the end and apply what I'm gonna tell you, people will become addicted to you. So welcome to the second episode of the social skills series, and let's talk about charisma. Charisma
got
consists
the
of
social
three
skills
elements:
series?
presence, warmth, and power, and we will try to understand each one of these elements well. But it's necessary to apply them together, and if the balance is disrupted, a problem will occur. With the first thing, which is presence. In 1886, in UK, two people ran for elections. When the elections were nearing their end, they asked a journalist about her opinion of the candidates. She told them, "The first person makes me feel that he is the strongest person in UK, and the second person makes me feel that I am the strongest person in UK." In the end, the person who won was the
Number
second
two.
one. So, the first rule we have in this video is that you don't need to show your strength to have charisma. Instead, you need to make the other person feel that they are strong. How will you do that? Through presence. Now, when you talk to someone, you have to focus on what they're saying. You have to be a good listener. This
That's so
advice about
true.
being a
Talking
good
to people and
listener,
making
you
people like you is so easy. If you don't know what to talk about, literally just have people talk about themselves. People love talking about themselves. I can sit there and talk about myself forever and ever. But if you're talking about yourself, that's gonna be overbearing and annoying. People are gonna be like, "This dude does not shut the fuck up."
You might hear
Says
a
me,
lot,
but
and you may
I'm a streamer,
continue
I'm
hearing
allowed.
phrases like maintain eye contact, nod your head, smile, and so on. Look, I could come now, and instead of telling you to be a good listener,
Ain't coming.
start telling you, you must make eye contact, you must keep asking questions, you must open your hands, you must keep smiling. We'll go through all this, but I'll sum it up for you in one sentence. When you talk to someone who is speaking, don't think about what you will say. Listen to what they are saying. Don't think about what you will say. When someone is speaking, listen to them. It's not important what will happen after they finish talking. Just listen, because this is the biggest mistake people make. When someone is speaking,
true.
instead of listening, they keep thinking about what they should say. No, just listen and that's it. Care about what they're saying. You might ask, how will he know that I'm listening to him? He will feel it. How will he feel it? We'll answer this
People
in the next
can
part
feel
of the
it.
video about warmth. Just wait. But what I want to convey to you is that when someone is talking to you, just listen and that's it. What you will say afterward will come naturally. Now, this may seem simple to
That's
you,
true.
but few people do it. And that's why if you're sitting among people and someone is speaking, there's a high chance that none of those sitting are truly listening. So if you're the person who listens, this will make the speaker feel a connection and they'll start talking to you more than others. Without you noticing, you'll find everyone just wants to talk to you. Everyone wants to listen to you. Why? Because when you listen to someone, you give them value, and value is the thing people search for.
You give them
the
a
most.
valuable
That was the
response,
first aspect
not
of
just,
presence.
"Oh, you're done
The
talking,
second
my
thing is that
turn."
you have to be comfortable. This is important, and you need to remember it throughout your life. Whether you're sitting among people, sitting alone in a cafe, or talking with someone, you have to be comfortable. Your body language and everything about you should be relaxed. Again, the other person will unconsciously
Relax,
sense whether
babe.
you're comfortable
God,
or not.
just
If you're
relax.
not comfortable, it gives the impression to the other person that you don't want to be with them. How to be comfortable? Quite simply, be at ease. Be spontaneous. I don't need to tell you again to sit
That's
up
true.
straight, open your legs, open your hands, laugh out loud. This isn't important if you can convince yourself to be comfortable from the inside. What does it
Aw.
mean to be comfortable
I'll
in the
make your
first
insides
place? Suppose you're
comfortable.
sitting and you feel a sneeze coming. If you feel shy and think, I'll try try to suppress it, then you won't be comfortable. You need to be spontaneous.
Just
Understand that you have
sneeze.
the right to be yourself as long as you don't harm anyone else. That is, if you feel a sneeze coming, it doesn't matter who's next to you, whether
Just
it's a man,
sneeze.
a woman,
Everyone
your boss,
sneezes.
people you don't know. Just let it out, sneeze with all your might, and no one will mind. And even if they do, what's the problem? After that,
And
this is
they're a
charisma.
bitch.
You're sitting comfortably, do what you want, and no one will care. When you do
Real.
what you like, those with you feel closer to you. Because, for example,
You're
when you're
comfortable
sitting
with
with
them.
your brother or your mother, how are you? You're comfortable, unconcerned, and spontaneous. Do the same
Yeah.
with your friends and other people. Sit comfortably, and this will make them feel closer to you. Moreover, they will also start behaving comfortably around you. You want to sneeze, you want to sleep,
Just
you
don't
want to
sneeze
laugh
on
out
them.
loud.
No,
you
I'm
wanna
gonna
say
look
something.
them dead in the eyes. I feel something coming. I feel something coming. I need you to open your mouth for me, okay? Thank you. Thank you. I hope. Thank you for keeping your mouth open for that.
Do what you want, just don't harm anyone, and that's
Just
it.
don't
This was
harm
simply
anyone. No, I'm gonna
presence.
harm
You
people.
relax to make others relax with you, and you listen to the other person. Now, let's move on to the second
And
element of
blame ya.
charisma. This element is called warmth, meaning kindness, gentleness, affection, love. So listen to me
Am I
carefully on this
warm?
because it's important.
love being warm.
kind and compassionate
I like
doesn't mean you
blankets.
keep praising others and do whatever they ask you to do. Why? Because if you're being nice just to have charisma and be liked, that's called hypocrisy. That's why people don't like a nice person,
Hypocrisy.
because he often doesn't act naturally and is being hypocritical. So how do you apply the second element of charisma? First, you have to understand that we humans,
Genuinity.
we people, don't communicate through words. Only 7% of the communication process depends on words, and 93% depends on body language, feelings, and emotions. For example, one day
problem
you
with
talk to
online
someone
is you
who is
don't see
speaking
that
normally
stuff.
and sitting normally, but quite simply, he didn't touch your heart, and you didn't know why. The reason lies in
He
his
didn't touch your
feelings
heart.
and his emotions. Meaning, for instance, you don't like doctors. If one day you
ma'am, I wouldn't have a conversation with you, and I kind of want to touch your heart, but you have some of those mammary mountains in the way. You mind if I just squeeze past those real quick? Ugh.
talk to a doctor, even though you don't show him this dislike and you speak normally, that energy coming from you, he will feel it and won't like it, and you won't touch his heart. This happens without him knowing why. He'll just say, I didn't like that person. And the reason is that you didn't want him. Your feelings and emotions play a big role in whether that other person will want to be around you or not. So when you come to talk to someone, always assume that he is a good person. Look at his good qualities.
Assume
But
he
listen
is a good
carefully. If
person.
this person is someone you already know and you know he is not a good person, that's another matter. Why would you want to impress someone you don't like in the first place?
That's so
But when
true.
you meet someone for the first time or talk to one of
I
your
hate
friends,
you.
feel inside yourself admiration for that person. Be enthusiastic
Admiration.
about talking
I
with
love
him.
you.
Feel
You're
that you want to listen
amazing.
to him. This inner feeling will come out of you without you realizing it,
I
and
don't
will
know how to
reach
explain.
him.
I kind of already feel that. I don't know if that's a toxic trait, but I always see the good in people. I'm like, I want to know about them. They're so cool. I just love knowing about people because, like, I think we're very caught up in ourselves. Like, oh, I have to do this. But there's, like, 7 billion other, our quote-unquote, ourselves out there. People as dynamic as you, how you feel. There's other people that feel all the complexities you do. And have had crazy experiences that's so different from you.
And you will touch
like
his
a whole
heart
other
without
person.
him knowing why. And he will touch yours too, because as humans we share feelings. If you're comfortable in talking
think
to
the
someone, he
feelings
will
are the
also
reason
feel
we live,
comfortable.
to
If you're
share
angry, he
emotions.
will become tense. If you want to be with him, he will also want to be with you. The important thing
That's
is to
real.
always
People
look at the
wanna be
person
wanted.
as a good person. Of course within limits. Not that you trust him completely or something like that. Just expect that the person is a
I
good
need to
person.
sit up in
This
my
was the
gamer
first
chair.
point in warmth.
I need
The
to sit
second
up, I'm
point is
tripping.
the power of giving. You add value to a person's
Power
life
of
by giving
giving.
advice. But listen, you give advice, but don't impose it. For
does that
example,
mean?
you're sitting with your friends and someone says to you, I want to rent a house, without asking you anything else. He just says, I want to rent a house, and that's it. You know a website with houses for rent. What do? Don't stay silent and uninterested. No, tell him about the website.
I know a website
Give
for
him
houses to rent.
information or advice, but don't impose your advice on him. That is, don't tell him the website. Take out your phone, go through it, and keep saying, look at how the houses are, and then
That's so annoying when people are like forcing you to do it in that moment. I'm like, okay, I just made a comment. You don't gotta do
send him
this
the link
now
on
without
WhatsApp.
me
When you
asking.
meet him again, don't ask, did you check that site? Did you see? It's enough to give him the information, and that's it. If he asks
If
you
they
or
wanna see it,
says,
they
send
will.
me the link, you send it to him, but don't follow up with him. The
Exactly.
important thing is to give something to your friends and the people around you. If you know something, don't stay silent, share information. Giving is a beautiful thing, but in the right way, and I've told you how. You give advice, but you don't impose it. The third point in this warmth is acceptance, understanding, and honesty. Trust
Honesty.
doing all this in a positive way. You were talking to someone
feel like
and
you're
he
Tom
said,
Cruise.
I
What the
like
hell does that
football. Do you
mean?
like it? And let's suppose you don't like football. So don't say, I also like football, just to seem agreeable with
See,
him.
I'm not
Because
that
one
into
day
it,
he'll find out
but-
you're lying. And if you keep
I don't
agreeing with someone on everything, he'll feel you're boring.
I'm not
First
that
of all,
into it,
you
I
don't
don't know.
like football. So you'll tell him, no, I don't like football. But as we said before, acceptance,
yeah,
understanding,
but it's
and
cool.
honesty.
I'd like to
Even
know
though
more.
you don't like football, you accept this idea. You accept that he likes it. Not that you start telling
cool
him,
that you're
oh,
into
football
it.
is boring. What do you gain from it? It's a waste of time. And so on
Yeah,
with
that's
those words,
mean.
people
You're-
who are
you're
hard to get
crushing their
along with say.
interests.
You
That's
have to
mean.
accept the person as he is, understand him, and at the
You're
same
weird. You
time,
like
be
football?
honest.
You're
Each of
weird.
these should stand alone, but I wanted to combine them
I know,
to
but
save
tell me
time.
about it. Yeah,
Meaning,
people
be
love to
honest.
talk.
If you don't like something, say, I didn't like it. If you didn't agree with him on something, say so.
Say
if you
you're
liked
stupid.
something, say
Love
so.
yourself
Your friend
now.
wore a hat and you liked it. Tell him that. That hat suits you. Praise should be like that, but it must be sincere. Also,
Yep.
if your friend wore something you didn't like, you
You
can
can
say,
feel
for
the praise
example,
isn't
I didn't
sincere.
like that shirt, say it and add, it didn't suit you.
That
If it's
shirt's
someone
so
you have
ugly, it
that
makes
kind
you
of
look fat.
relationship with, meaning you
Take
share
it
advice,
off.
but briefly. Here we return
Free
again to
them.
what we said earlier. Don't keep insisting and keep following up. Be honest with him, and at the same time,
Videos
accept
fake
him.
until you make it.
Accept
That's
the
all
other,
it
be
is.
honest.
Oh, I used to be, I don't know, like pretty much mute. I didn't speak to anyone. I don't know if I was shy or what. Ever since I was a little kid, even up to like middle school and stuff, but high school, I just realized I'm like, why am I holding myself back? Why do I care? So I just faked it. Just act confident. Feel like you can talk to anybody. Why does it matter? Oh well, who cares? Just do what you want.
Share advice and
it
values,
will become real, the
sympathize with him, and
confidence.
love him. These are the components of warmth. This is how you should be kind. This is true kindness. But presence and warmth.
So a trick that helped me a lot too is eye contact is a power move. You can tell the social hierarchy of being an alpha with eye contact. You know when you're like walking in the hall and like you look down? But that's a weak move. That's weak. You gotta assert your power. Look them dead in the eyes as you walk by. Don't look down. Just smile and go, hi. Don't look down.
Warmth
Have
without
them
power
look down and
will
they go,
not make you
ha, yeah, I'm the
charismatic.
alpha.
I left this element, which is power, until the end because it requires a lot of discussion. To have that inner strength, you need self-confidence and a strong personality, and this topic needs a dedicated video on its own. But I'll try to give you some ideas quickly.
Ideas.
First, don't talk about yourself too much,
Real.
and don't seek others' approval. This is a point I discussed in the previous episode of this
That's
series.
true.
Please go back and watch it after you finish this video because I explained this topic well. Secondly, don't be afraid to confront people. Your principles and what you believe in are personal to you, and you shouldn't be afraid of them. For example, you don't drink alcohol. That's a principle you hold. If one day you're sitting with some friends who are drinking and they say to you, go ahead, have a drink, you should simply tell them no, even if logically there's no reason not to drink. Despite that, say no, and that's it. The same applies to
No.
anything else. There are some matters considered red lines. If someone tries to cross them, you must stop them and not allow them
Stop!
to overstep
In the
those
name of the
boundaries.
law.
In the context of this idea about confronting people, if you want something, don't be afraid to say it. For instance, you were eating in a restaurant and found a hair in your food. You can get up and tell them about it, and you don't have to pay for that meal. Our third point is strong body language. Look, body language has a significant connection with your psyche. If you feel
That's
strong
true.
mentally and internally, this will reflect in your body language. And if you can't feel the strength, you can adopt strong body language, and this will affect you psychologically. I'm not
Exactly,
gonna tell
that's
you,
what it
stand
is.
in a certain way, open your hands, lift your legs.
It's just
But
having
what I'll say
open,
is, be
comfortable body
comfortable. What I
language,
told
good
you
posture,
earlier, I'll
feel
repeat now.
confident.
Be comfortable and don't worry. Do what you want. When you're comfortable and let your hands and legs move freely, this will reflect internally and you'll feel strong. Imagine yourself as the strongest person in the place you're in. How would you act? You take your place
I'm the
and sit
strongest.
comfortably, and this is what you should try to maintain in your body language. One last thing, watch the self-confidence video I made in this series.
Maybe at
because
some
this
point.
series is about social skills. Its episodes are interconnected and it will change your idea about yourself and your way of thinking. And here we have finished the video. Don't forget, the benefits of charisma are more important than just making people like you and accept doing what you want. Charisma will help you work efficiently, advance in your career, and succeed in your life in general. This was The Dark Needle, and take care of yourselves.
Thank you, Dark Needle. That was interesting. I like that. Blah! If you like this video, you should come hang out with me on Twitch and watch it live every day but Monday. Up there, see that? Click that. Click that. That'll bring you there. Click it. I'll see you there. Thank you. Mwah. And if you didn't click it, I'll get you next time. Blah!